Did you sense a level of insecurity, or you felt people were still pretty confident?
I think there's a sense of anxiety.
Anxiety.
And this sense of anxiety is not unhealthy in the sense that they ought to be aware of the changing environment so that they are prepared for it. I will be concerned if they are complacent and feel that everything is all right.
The world is moving faster than ever before. Entire industries are being reshaped overnight, and leaders are having to make decisions in conditions no one would have ever predicted. So, what the series does is it gives you an inside look into how these decisions are made or can be made. Real-life stories and lessons from leaders who know how to navigate this volatility, who know how to build trust, and who move forward when the future feels uncertain.
Thank you, DPM. We are collecting quite a lot of different questions, which I will bucket into 3 different themes. The first theme is really for so many people here who are investing in Singapore, institutional investors and business investors. So one theme around why continue to choose Singapore. One prevalent theme is around AI and security. So there's a lot of concern around data security, cybersecurity, and AI security. And the third theme is around workforce and jobs. How, especially for white-collar jobs, a lot of people here in the room are in large companies that employ a lot of white-collar workers. How do we manage the narrative around that and balance that? Shall we start with why choose Singapore? As people are investing in Singapore, why should they continue to invest in our country? What's in it for them?
Thank you. I think today the world is becoming a lot more competitive. The financial hub ranking is one example that you can see that financial centers around the world are competing with one another. And there's no time for us to become complacent. We need to continue to push on. But we can no longer just become one of the financial centers. We have to have our own unique offerings. And what does Singapore offer? If you look back in history, Singapore has always been a trusted partner, not just in finance, but in business, in data management, in security, in partnership. Whether in good times or bad, during crisis, we are here with you. Just like many of financial institutions here, you always tell your clients, we are here for you, always. This is something that we offer our partners. We are long-term partners. We are not short-term partners for good times, but we are partners for the long term. This is very important, and this trust is built over decades. It doesn't happen overnight, and it's strengthened over every crisis. This is something that's not easy for others to replicate, and we need to continue to deepen this trust between Singapore and our partners. The second factor is what Su Shan mentioned, that Singapore is small. And small, like you said, is beautiful, but small is more than just beautiful. Small means that we can be very nimble. We can move very quickly. We can respond to crisis much faster than huge economies. There are many things to worry about, huge machinery to mobilize. But because we are small, we are compact, and we are very efficient, we are very responsive, we can respond very swiftly. And we have shown that over many crises in the past, and this is something that many businesses value, many investors value. If you come to Singapore, you apply to register a company, it is much faster than anywhere else in the world. If you want to look for a loan from DBS, it's much faster than anywhere else in the world.
Thank you.
And many other banks here too. So I think we want to be able to be nimble. Not just fast, but we are thorough at the same time. We need to be able to hold the hands of our investors, of business partners, take them through the journey. What you see is what you get. So we do so in a very decisive way, in a very responsive way, and in a very swift way. I think this way will make ourselves very attractive to potential investors. But of course, the traditional strengths like our connectivity, our good infrastructure, our lean and efficient government agencies are all very important. So I think these factors will continue to be important. Last but not least, what is also very critical for us is our workforce. Our workforce is highly skilled, well-educated, and they are able to handle high-value work. At the same time, our workforce is also very nimble. They learn all the time, they upgrade all the time, and that's partly because we have been investing in training and upgrading our workforce consistently over the years, and we continue to push our people to continue to learn, to acquire new skills and knowledge so that they are ready for the future. And that's why we introduced the SkillsFuture system. And we are also very grateful that it's not only the government, the workers, but the companies, enterprises are also able to work with us. And that's why we have a very strong tripartite relationship. And that, again, is another very attractive factor for investors to want to invest in Singapore, particularly in today's world that is fragmented, that is uncertain, that is volatile. I think these factors matter a lot more than before.
Yesterday, you and I went to an event where you were guest of honor at SMU, where you addressed a room full of graduates or undergraduate students. You also talked a lot about lifelong learning. For all the tauges or bosses in the room, there are a lot of lifelong courses that our employees, our colleagues can apply for in our various institutes of higher learning so that we can quickly relearn new skills through the help that all these programs can offer us.
I think it's important for us to also shift our mindset about skills upgrading and learning and training. When I first joined politics about 25 years ago, we had a financial crisis. Some of the jobs were lost. The employment was rising. So we encouraged our workers to go for training because we always said when business is good, you have no time to train. When business is no good, you have no money to train. So the government said, don't worry, when the economy is down, we provide training support, you just go for training.
So when we have time to train, you pay for the training.
That's right. Yeah. Today, even if you don't have time for training, we are still paying for training because we do want our workers to continuously train themselves so that they're ready for the future. But we need to shift our mindset a little bit because training is not done just during crisis time. It's not done when you are out of job. In fact, training has to be done all the time. Whether you're out of job, whether you're on a job, whether you're very busy or you're very free, training must be at the back of your mind that you focus on training all the time. And it is not just the workers that should focus on training. I think it's also critical for employers to shift their mindset to believe and to embrace training as part of your competitive advantage. If your workforce is not training and upgrading, very soon you'll find that the company will begin to fall behind your competitors. If your competitors continue to train, I think you better train your people, make sure that they are ahead of the game, keep pace with technological development and even changing business environment. This way, you will remain competitive and relevant to the global economy. So we encourage employers who are here to think about adopting and embracing training as part of your core business strategy and not something that you think about it when the business are bad, when the market is down, but you must train them all the time. This will be our key advantage.
You cannot compromise on training. That's a key differentiator for our success. You talked about workforce training. A couple of questions came in. Employers are worried also about the impact of AI on entry-level jobs. As AI changes the future of work, how can all companies, including government and GLCs, rethink hiring beyond academic results, very Singaporean, and develop better ways to assess capability, adaptability, creativity, and real-world problem solving, especially for young people taking unconventional paths to innovate?
Thank you. I think we talked about this yesterday
We
too,
did, yeah.
with our young graduates and undergraduates. While they're going through their education, they are also thinking about what do I do when I graduate, given that entry-level jobs are changing very quickly.
Did you sense a level of insecurity or you felt people were still pretty confident?
I think there's a sense of anxiety.
Anxiety.
And this sense of anxiety is not unhealthy in the sense that they ought to be aware of the changing environment so that they are prepared for it.
Yeah.
I think I will be concerned if they are complacent and feel that everything is all right. When I graduate, there will just be jobs waiting for me. So I think it's good for them to understand that the market is shifting and they need to change the way they approach job search. They prepare themselves for the employment. So that's why yesterday we talked about how can we help our graduates to be more work ready. Because work, especially entry-level work, is changing all the time. It will be very different the time when they enter the university and by the time they graduate. The nature of job would have changed. I think we are also working with institutes of higher learning to prepare them better, including introducing more robust and structured internship, traineeship programs so that they are exposed to the working environment. They are kept at the front end of the technological development so that they know how the workplace is changing, and also provide them an opportunity to have a connection with their potential employer, their future employer, and to have a better sense of what the workplace is like, how fast it's changing, so that they're better prepared. And we also encourage employers who are here to offer more traineeship opportunities and internship opportunities so that you have access to some of these bright graduates and give them a chance to experience working environment. By the time they graduate and join your company, they will be even more work ready. This is the way we help our students, young workers, to be more ready for the changing.
So basically getting the domain knowledge earlier rather than when they
That's
start
right.
work, right?
That's right. And not just the knowledge itself, but the sense of the direction that work is changing,
Yeah.
so that they are prepared for the future.
Yeah.
At the same time, I think even the universities, the government, Ministry of Manpower are strengthening career support and guidance so that we hold their hand, we guide them along the way to show them the opportunities that are available. This way, I think we will give them greater assurance that there are opportunities around, but it's important for them to be adaptable, to keep their options open, to try new things, maybe take a path that is less taken before, and maybe they're less familiar with, but give it a try. Take some risk, and maybe you'll discover exciting opportunities awaiting you.
DBS really believes in internships. Yesterday on stage with you, we had a young graduate who joined DBS, and she had had not one, not two, but 3 years of internship with us. So by the time she joined us as a full-term graduate, she was already up and running quite quickly and knew what to do quite quickly as well. Next, I have a question from Chi Ming Kong, your last year's great IPO success. Singapore government is promoting AI nationally, and this is executed across all government departments. This will disrupt employment as AI agents may replace people. If there is a system failure due to disruption of energy or a cybersecurity incident, what's the backup plan, right, for manual processing? Are you talking about back to paper for business continuity, since AI agents will have to stop work if there's no power?
I think this is a question that's at the top of everybody's mind. I think this question doesn't just being asked today. Since the years of electricity, we have already started asking the same question. What happens if there's electricity failure? Banks are very concerned that your ATMs may not work if you have an electricity failure. Now with digitalization, our financial institutions are concerned if the data system is disrupted, what do we do? I'm sure every institution, every company, every enterprise must have your business continuity plan. And it's not just the technology system. During COVID-19, all of us remember when the causeway between Singapore and Malaysia was disconnected because of infection control. Many things stopped. It's not just digital, it's not just technology, it's physical movement that's going to be quite critical for us too. So I think for companies who have a critical systems, you have to think about security, you have to think about continuity, always have a backup plan, whether it's going back to paper or whether you have a backup system that can kick in instantaneously. I think this is something that you will need to think about. Even for Singapore as a whole, for our energy, we do have our resilience planning. So we do have our stockpile, our reserves, to ensure that we are able to continue operating until we are able to restore the supplies. But I think it's something that we will have to constantly prepare ourselves, replenish, constantly think about how can I further strengthen our resilience system. But at the same time, also bear in mind that there's cost involved.
Yeah.
The more you want your system to be resilient, the more costly it will be. So there's a calibration, there's a balance you need to strike. You need to have sufficient resilience to allow you to continue to operate, but at the same time, cost-effective enough for you to remain competitive.
How true. We realize the importance of having alternative pathways for all your crucial customer journeys, especially for day-to-day payments. For us, having alternative channels for payments, in case one fails, you always have a backup plan, is important.
Maybe I just add on, energy is a very interesting topic because yesterday we just announced that we are going to embark on a study on the nuclear readiness. Nuclear is one option being considered because we still need to complete the study and make an assessment. But before even embarking on the nuclear, we have already strengthened our current energy supply, electricity supply system. I don't know how many of you are aware that all our power generators in Singapore today are able to run on both natural gas and diesel. And because natural gas cannot be stored for long term because it's very volatile, it evaporates very quickly, and therefore it's not possible to store natural gas over the long term. The only way for us to be able to have stockpile for reserve fuel is to rely on diesel. So we have required our power generators over the last decades to convert into dual use. So anytime when gas supply is disrupted, we can switch to diesel. It will take some time for us to switch, but we can continue to operate on diesel. And of course, we have a diesel stockpile. And as to how many days of diesel stockpile we have, I cannot tell you.
I was rather hoping that would come out. Yeah, I was going to be cheeky and ask him that. Okay, changing tack, I have quite a good suggestion and a question from Arvind Sankaran. His quote is Yogi Berra famously said, "The future ain't what it used to be." So Singapore's position of trust, safety, and connectedness will help navigate. Are there countries or corridors looking to partner or capture AI leadership? For example, he says, India, a global app developer, could test their new AI solutions in Singapore, get the golden seal of AI trust and safety, and then go after global markets. So we're a good test bed. How do you see us positioning ourselves as that trusted international standards hub?
Thank you very much. I think first and foremost, I should emphasize that we welcome competition. I think competition will make us better. And therefore, we are happy that whether it's India, whether it's any other country who wants to compete for AI leadership, we are very happy to work with them, to partner them, to work together and to succeed together, to make progress together. Competition is not a zero-sum game. Eventually, if you have a healthy competition, it can be win-win for both competitors. So we are happy to partner any other countries in this area to be able to develop our AI capability. In addition, I think what is also very critical is AI talent. We will never be able to have enough AI talent among our own population because we are a very small population and the world is so big and AI is moving so quickly. We need to make sure that we have access to global AI talent. And even global AI talent will not be able to have all of them housed in Singapore because we are a small island. So we must look for ways that we can tap on global AI talent that are not even in Singapore. Those who are able to come to Singapore and partner us, we welcome them. Those who are not in Singapore, we welcome partnership with them wherever they are. So I think AI, digital technology, allow us to have cross-border collaboration and partnership. For countries who are happy to partner with us, we are happy to explore different ways of partnership among our member countries, our various partners, and even within ASEAN, we are now negotiating digital economy framework agreement, many of you will be aware of, and we are close to finalizing it, and we hope to be able to sign it this year. And beyond the digital economy framework agreement, the next step is to think about how can we cooperate among ASEAN members to look at how we can develop AI systems jointly to help each other, to leverage on each other's strength, to level up the AI capability within ASEAN members. So I think this is the arena for cooperation and collaboration, especially in AI capability development.
I think we have time for one last question. And I'm going to combine two into one because there are quite a lot of SMEs in the room. The fast-changing AI landscape and high implementation costs. For SMEs, they have to balance the risk of moving too early or run the risk of falling behind. And then some of the things you do today could become obsolete tomorrow as well. The question is, should they just wait until the tech becomes more mature? And another question around the same vein, as they are running AI pilots themselves, but scaling across an industry is much harder. How can the government help companies like this by creating a shared framework or capabilities or standards so industries can work together rather than struggle on their own?
It's a very good question. In fact, the government is quite mindful of this challenge because AI is very complex and can be very costly. And at the initial stages of AI development, there's no guarantee that it will succeed. But if we wait for assurance of success before we embark on it, I think it will be too late. We encourage companies to embark on this journey in partnership with the government. And that is why we have developed several centers of excellence, both at the company level as well as the sectoral level. One example is Center of Excellence for AI for manufacturing. In the recognition that the manufacturers will find adoption of AI may be quite prohibitive. They don't know what to do to start with. They don't have the technology. They don't have the know-how. And to adopt it may be quite costly for them, especially for the SMEs. That's why we have set up a National Center of Excellence for AI in the manufacturing sector, so that SMEs in the manufacturing sector will then be able to tap on the national capacity, whether it's compute capacity, whether it's expertise, consultants, knowledge partners, it's there so that you are able to tap on these resources to experiment, to try out adoption of AI solutions in your company. Once it's successful, once you have gained the confidence, I think you will then be able to embark on your own, and you are able to develop your own center of excellence. We're happy to allow you to continue on your own. I think this is one way for us to help you to kickstart your AI journey. And for companies who are more ready to embark on AI, we are also partnering you to develop in-house center of excellence on AI. Some of our banks have already set up your internal center of excellence. And we encourage these companies who have center of excellence within your company to open up your centers for your clients, for your suppliers, for your partners, for your whole ecosystem. Because if you are able to level up the AI capability in your ecosystem, eventually it will benefit you as a member, as a player in the ecosystem. So I think this is something that we hope to be able to leverage on each other's strength and capability to uplift our AI capability. And we are also looking at the possibility of partnering major AI leaders, champions of AI, which we call them. We hope to be able to identify a few companies that are willing to adopt AI from end to end, to transform their entire business model to be built on AI capability. So we hope that these leaders and champions of AI will be pathfinders to show it as an example of how AI can impact businesses, can help and enhance business competitiveness. And this way, we hope that SMEs will then be able to follow suit and follow the pathway that's created by these champions of AI. And in order for us to support many of these efforts, we are also developing an AI park to sort of bring together and to create an ecosystem
An AI
community.
park? Is this in Punggol?
Punggol is one of it, but the AI park is in the One North. I think we have identified a location for the AI park to be built, and this will bring together all the AI practitioners, researchers, even those with AI problems that are looking for solutions. I think this will create a community of practitioners and create synergy among the AI community. I think this will be able to help many of the SMEs who need AI resources. So I think these are our efforts to help the SME to embark on this AI journey. Punggol is known to be the Punggol Digital District.
Yep.
So actually it is one of a key component in the entire AI ecosystem.
So it looks like you're looking at it end-to-end, from talent, startups, capital, hubs, industry know-how. And also don't forget DBS also. We have our Spark AI for SMEs toolkit. Talk to your RMs and we'll be delighted to help you. So with that, DPM, this has been a tour de force. Thank you so much. I think our clients are very appreciative that you spend this time with us, and it gives us comfort that we are on this journey together. We will create the ecosystems and make Singapore the best AI hub in the world, hopefully sometime soon. So with that, please join me in thanking DPM for his sharing.